repeat after me. What I want to do is not hard, it's not impossible, and I am capable. What I want to do is not, it's not, and I am capable. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, and let's just get straight in today's video. These are going to be the number 5 things or top 5 things you need to do in order for you to see the results and the fruits of your labor. Number 1, if you lack confidence, if you are not somebody who trusts yourself, get you a pen and a paper and take your notes. You need to write this information down because you need to start living like it and you need to apply it. The first thing we have to do in order for you to see the results is to set in your mind that you are willing to show up. That's the first thing you need to do. I'm not going to make it difficult. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to be overwhelmed. If you want to accomplish something by this year or the next couple of years, all you have to do is decide that you want to do it. We think when we start things, when we don't have resources, when we don't have the tools, it's going to be so complicated. It has to be so dramatic. We have to be so anxious. We have to be so overwhelmed. That's not the situation. The first thing you have to do is just decide if you are willing to show up. Now, of course, if you're not ready to show up, don't force the vibes. You can act 50-50, half ASS, anything you do in life. You're either going to give it your 100% your all, and you're going to put the time, the energy and effort, the blood, sweat and tears, or you're not going to do it. Now, of course, when you show up to do something, you don't have to rush. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. You just have to do it. And when you set the intention that you're going to do something, you're going to learn how to do it, even if you don't have everything figured out. When I started this second channel, or even before I started this second channel, let's go back further. I had the idea that I was going to promote positivity and be a motivational educator, mental health specialist, naturopathic physician. I personally did not have to overthink it. I started to pick up a camera, my phone, and I just started speaking. In the beginning, when you do things that's unfamiliar, it's not going to be cookie cutter unless you have the resources, the tools, and the guidance. And even still, you have to do something for a long time in order for you to get better at it. So because I am me and I've been confident my entire life, I inform and educate and inspire those of you who resonate with these videos. So you could be scared when you start something that's unfamiliar. You may not have everything figured out, but as long as you want to show up, you're going to start to show up. Now, just because you say that you're going to show up, just because you write it down, just because you have a plan, doesn't mean that without you putting any work, it's going to manifest. We can affirm, but we also have to do. And that's the second thing. When you decide that you're going to show up, you then have to commit to the actions and the responsibilities that come with what you're asking for. Now, if you're new here, I recommend you check out the 30-day consistency challenge. It tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, because being consistent is not a one-size-fits-all. What works for me and you may not work for everyone else. So always take what resonates, leave the rest. But you have to know, in order for you to be consistent, you have to know what comes with what you're asking for. What are the responsibilities? What is the maintenance? What do you have to start doing? What do you have to learn? What do you have to unlearn? What do you have to cut off? Who, what, when, where, and why, all that stuff matters. What type of people do you have to create distance from? What type of relationships do you need to start establishing? Unless you understand the ins of the outs of what it is that you're asking for, do not sign the contract. Do not say that you're going to show up if you're not going to be committed. That's what you have to realize. That's the only reason why people give up on themselves, because they don't understand it is a commitment. You cannot be consistent if you are not committed. So the first thing we need to do is show up. Number 2, we need to understand the responsibilities. So make sure you guys watch the 30-day consistency challenge. It breaks down some more in depth. It'll be somewhere here on the top of the screen or in the description down below. You have to understand what comes with it. So an example of this is if you want to be a content creator. What are the responsibilities of being a content creator? What are the responsibilities of you posting the type of content that you're putting out? You have to be willing to go through trial and error. You have to see what works. You have to see what's not working. Maybe you have to take a content creation class. Like, what do you need to do in order for this to be your reality? Same thing with you losing weight. What foods do you need to start eating? What foods do you need to take away? What supplements do you need to start taking? How many times do you need to exercise? Do you need to invest into a gym membership? Do you need to invest into a personal trainer? Do you need to invest into Pilates? Do you have to stop eating certain foods and start eating more foods? There are responsibilities that come with what it is that we're asking for. The third thing we have to identify is our goal, as well as how much time and energy and effort is it going to take to make this happen. Now, when you're doing something that's unfamiliar, you can't have a specific outcome because you're not going to know until you put in the work. So an example of this, if you're a first timer, I will say that. So anything you do for the first time, scratch that. Anything you do for the first time, you should not have a specific outcome, because when things don't go the way you want, you can't be disappointed. So unless you've done it before, don't be so content on a specific way on things can show up, because you don't know, and you limit yourself when you only have one way of thinking something is going to happen. So an example of this would be if you were deciding to lose weight for the first time and you never lost weight before, and you see people lose weight and they lose 30 pounds, 20 pounds in, let's just say, a year or 4 months or 2 months. That's their experience. You could see people do the things that you want to do as admiration and inspiration, but you're not going to have the same outcome as them, because everyone's body is different. So you have to be considerate of the contributions and what it is that you're doing, especially for the first time. So you have to be okay with that. Be okay with knowing that if you want to show up for something and you want to do something, that you're going to be okay with how things work out. You need to know if it's going to be short term or long term, and accept the time and energy and effort that you want to put into yourself, because it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be challenging. If something was really hard, if something was really difficult, some people wouldn't do it. Now, it's one thing to say you don't want to do something versus you not doing it. So it's one thing, ooh, excuse me. It's one thing if you sat here and said you don't want to work out, versus you thinking that working out is hard. If working out is hard, why are you doing it? If you want to lose weight and I'm big, you're back, that's what you have to do. Don't say it's hard. Just say you don't want to do it. Make sense? You need to discern whether it's a short-term goal or long-term goal. So therefore, when you know what type of goal that you have, you know, once again, how much time, how much energy and effort that you're putting towards it. And therefore, you don't feel disappointed, because a lot of times, a lot of people want long-term goals and they think they can do it in a short amount of time. And then when things don't happen the way they wanted to, you quit, or you get discouraged, or you allow certain people, places, and things to make you feel bad because things are not happening on their timing. Once again, just because you have an idea to do something, you're not gonna have the same outcome as everyone else. And that's the fourth thing. You have to be able to focus. Anything that's not contributing into your goal or yourself or whatever it is that you want to achieve, you don't need to be worried about. Once you get the inkling that something is not for you, it's just not for you, and it is what it is. Like, you don't have to despise it. You don't have to discourage it, like, when it comes to people, places, and things. But you just have to know, like, okay, certain people in your life for a season. There are certain lessons that you're going to obtain, certain lessons that you're going to learn. You got to apply what you learn, and just know that what's for you is what's for you. But you can't be concerned about people and places and things who are not going to be a part of your victory or your success. Like, you have to be okay with that. So before you get upset, before you feel like things have to be hard and difficult and challenging, you need to be able to sit down, and that's going to be the fifth thing. You really have to evaluate what it is that you're signing up for. When you decide to commit to something, it's literally like a contract. And that's just the analogy that I'm going to give. It's not necessarily a contract, because you get to decide what you want to do. But when you are elevating, when you are leveling up, when you're doing things that's unfamiliar, there is an agreement. And that's why I said a contract, using it as an analogy. You have to come into an agreement of what it is that you're asking for. Meaning, if your goal is to lose weight and you don't lose weight in 3 months, and it may take you 2 years, You have to be okay with that. So if you're not okay with going to the gym for 2 years, you cannot come to an agreement with it. If you want to be a multimillionaire and it takes you 10 years to become a multimillionaire, you have to be okay with that. Because you can't force your outcome. You can't rush something that's not for you. Same thing with content creation. Same thing with opening a business. You have to be okay with posting 1,000 videos, 5,000 videos. You never know. You never know. And when you get the things that you want, you can't just stop there. Unless it is something that is short term. So this was, I think, the third step was to distinguish whether it's a short term goal or a long term goal. And that's how I'm getting off the video. But moving forward, it's not hard, it's not difficult, it's not impossible. You are capable. You just have to be honest with yourself. So the first tip is important. The second tip is important. The third tip is important. The fourth recommendation, and most importantly, the fifth one. If you are unsure, you don't need to make a decision. And I'm speaking from experience, because when we make decisions, it's either permanent or it is something that is going to cost you a consequence. So like, if you say that you want to show up and do something, you have to do it. You have to keep pushing through. Like me posting these videos, I cannot be 50-50 when it comes to posting content, because I decided that I'm going to commit to it and I'm okay with the process, and I'm okay with allowing things to take time. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get 1,000 followers. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get 1 million followers. You don't. Because everyone's journey, everyone's path is different. So if you're not going to be invested, even if you don't have everything figured out, if you don't want something, you don't want to have it. But you have to have that sense of knowing. It does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be hard. The goal is for us to do what resonates, take what resonates, leave the rest, and everything else, remove it, because it's in the way. But when you learn to practice this, when you learn to be consistent, when you learn to be committed, when you learn the responsibilities, when you watch the 30-day consistency challenge, if you're not already, as well as this video, and applying what you learn, the more simpler, the more easier things start to become, and the more you become motivated. Because there are going to be times where you're tired and you're going to experience inconveniences. That's going to be a different topic for a different video. You still have to show up. You still have to show up regardless of what's going on. You have to keep pushing. You got to push it out. It's like a baby, okay? So if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Make sure you subscribe, turn your post notification bell. Make sure to follow me for more. And you guys, I need to iron this shirt. It's so wrinkly, but it's okay, because the goal is about the messages. If people want to judge me based off my appearance, then that's their opinion, okay? I'm not concerned about that. And if you guys want me to talk about a topic that I haven't talked about already, let me know in the comment section. Follow me on all social media platforms. I will be going live on Instagram and on TikTok until we reach our goal here on YouTube. If you're interested in the service in the session, click the link. It'll be in my description, in my about, at www. It's only 3 W's. TyGuidanceSummer.com, and book your appointment today. But let me know on Instagram if you're not able to afford a session. DM me on Instagram what it is that you guys want to talk about, as well as the community section here on YouTube. But just know that it's not hard, it's not difficult, and we're capable. And we're going to focus, and we're going to see the fruits of our labor, because when you put in the work, it's gonna manifest. You can't do something for a long time and not see the results. Like, you're not going to not see the results and not see it through all the way. Like I said, it may take some time. There's no timeline, but you're not going to be able to do something and not see. If you plant a seed and you keep nurturing it, you take care of it, it's going to grow. Okay, love you, bye.